a Wikividi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Roxane Gay. Roxane Gay is an American writer, professor, editor, and commentator. She is the author of the New York Times best-selling essay collection Bad Feminist, as well as the short story collection IET, the novel An Untamed State, the short story collection Difficult Women, and the memoir Hunger. Gay is an associate professor of English at Purdue University, contributing opinion writer at the New York Times, founder of Tiny Hardcore Press, essays editor for The Rumpus, and co-editor of Pank, a non-profit literary arts collective. Early life and education. Gay was born in Omaha, Nebraska, to a family of Haitian descent. She attended high school at Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire. Gay began her undergraduate studies at Yale University, but dropped out in her junior year to pursue a relationship in Arizona. She later completed her undergraduate degree in Nebraska and also earned an MA with an emphasis in creative writing from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. In 2010, Gay received a PhD in rhetoric and technical communication from Michigan Technological University. Her dissertation was entitled Subverting the Subject Position, Toward a New Discourse About Students as Writers and Engineering Students as Technical Communicators. Dr. Ann Brady served as her dissertation advisor. Career. After completing her PhD, Gay began her academic teaching career in the fall 2010 at Eastern Illinois University, where she was assistant professor of English. While at AU, in addition to her teaching duties, she was a contributing editor for Bluestem magazine, and she also founded Tiny Hardcore Press. Gay worked at Eastern Illinois University until the end of the 2013-2014 academic year, taking a job in August 2014 at Purdue University as Associate Professor of Creative Writing. Gay published a short story collection IET, then 2 books in 2014, the novel An Untamed State and the essay collection Bad Feminist, leading one Time magazine reviewer to declare, "Let this be the year of Roxane Gay." The review noted of her inclusive style. Gay's writing is simple and direct, but never cold or sterile. She directly confronts complex issues of identity and privilege, but it's always accessible and insightful. An Untamed State. In 2014, Gay published her debut novel, An Untamed State, which centers around Mireille Duval Jameson, a Haitian-American woman who is kidnapped for ransom. The novel explores the interconnected themes of race, privilege, sexual violence, family, and the immigrant experience. An Untamed State is often referred to as a fairy tale because of its structure and style, especially in reference to the opening sentence. Once upon a time, in a far-off land, I was kidnapped by a gang of fearless yet terrified young men. With so much impossible hope beating inside their bodies it burned their very skin and strengthened their will right through their bones. And the author's exploration of the American dream and courtship of Mireille's parents. The novel received critical acclaim, with The Guardian calling it a breathtaking debut novel, and The Washington Post crediting it as a smart, searing novel. Bad Feminist. Gay's collection of essays, Bad Feminist, was released in 2014 to widespread acclaim. It addresses both cultural and political issues, and became a New York Times bestseller. A Time magazine reviewer dubbed Bad Feminist a manual on how to be human, and called Gay the gift that keeps on giving. In a 2014 interview with the magazine, Gay explained her role as a feminist and how it has influenced her writing. In each of these essays, I'm very much trying to show how feminism influences my life for better or worse. It just shows what it's like to move through the world as a woman. It's not even about feminism per se, it's about humanity and empathy. In The Guardian, critic Kiera Cochran offered a similar assessment. While online discourse is often characterized by extreme, polarized opinions, her writing is distinct for being subtle and discursive, with an ability to see around corners, to recognize other points of view while carefully advancing her own. In print, on Twitter and in person, Gay has the voice of the friend you call first for advice, calm and sane as well as funny, someone who has seen a lot and takes no prisoners. A group of feminist scholars and activists analyzed Gay's Bad Feminist for Short Takes, Provocations on Public Feminism, an initiative of the feminist journal Signs, Journal of Women in Culture and Society. World of Wakanda. In July 2016, Gaye and poet Deanna Harvey were announced as writers for Marvel Comics' World of Wakanda, a spin-off from the company's Black Panther title, making them the first black women to be lead writers for Marvel. Black Panther: World of Wakanda was hailed for its prominent portrayal of LGBTQ characters. The comic followed the journey of two lovers, Anak and Ayo, who are former members of the Dora Milaje, the Black Panther's female security force. The series follows the pair through multiple events, including the siege of their city by Thanos and the flooding of Wakanda by Namor. The series was confirmed cancelled in June 2017 by Gaye on Twitter, ironically 2 days after the premiere of the trailer for the Black Panther movie, with their last issue released in March 2017. Marvel stated no official reason for the cancellation. However, feminist tech site The Mary Sue pointed to the connection between Marvel's knock against diversity titles and the Marvel VP David Gabriel's statement that people didn't want any more diversity. They didn't want female characters out there. That's what we heard, whether we believed that or not. I don't know that that's really true, but that's what we saw in sales. Difficult Women. In 2017, Gaye published Difficult Women, a collection of fictional short stories that highlight women who have lives that differ from society's spectrum of a normal life. Each story follows a different character and her journey through either a traumatic experience or what makes her different from societal norms. The women are seen as difficult because they push the boundaries of society's portrayal of the perfect woman. Hunger. Gaye's memoir, Hunger, was released in June 2017. It is about Gaye's experience with weight, body image, and building a positive relationship with food. In an interview with Elite Daily, Gaye described this book as a testimony of what it's like to live in a world that tried to discipline unruly bodies. The memoir has been widely acclaimed and praised by critics as remarkable, ferociously honest, arresting and candid, and intimate and vulnerable. Gaye embarked on a nationwide tour in support of Hunger, which held 21 events in 20 cities, many at independent bookstores. Gaye has stated that she was found press around Hunger to be very challenging, because people just don't know how to talk about fat. In June 2017, Australian website Mamamia published an interview with Gaye, which cited numerous details about how they prepared for the visit that Gaye later called cruel and humiliating on Twitter. In an interview with the New York Times, Gaye stated the controversial event was helpful in that I think people get to see, in real time, what fat phobia looks like, and just how careless people can be in considering that fat people deserve dignity. So I suppose it's a useful example of why I wrote the book. Other projects. Gaye was the editor of The Butter, an online feminist writing site and sister site to The Toast, from November 2014 to August 2015. The Butter featured writing on a wide variety of subjects, including disability, literature, family, music, among others. The Butter ceased publishing in August 2015 with Gaye stating she was simply stretched too thin. Gaye was featured in a 5-minute segment of This American Life on June 17, 2016, talking about her body and how she is perceived as a fat person. Gaye has a forthcoming book, How to Be Heard, originally set to be published in 2018 by Dead Books, an imprint of Simon & Schuster. However, in January 2017, Gaye announced she was pulling the book from Simon & Schuster due to her objections to outright journalist Milo Yiannopoulos receiving a book deal from another Simon & Schuster imprint. She also edited the book Girl Crush, Women's Erotic Fantasies, in addition to her regular contributions to Salon and the now-defunct Nugent. Her writing has appeared in Best American Mystery Stories 2014, Best American Short Stories 2012, Best Sex Writing 2012, A Public Space, McSweeney's, Tin House, Oxford American, American Short Fiction, West Branch, Virginia Quarterly Review, Noon, Book Forum, Time, The Los Angeles Times, The Nation, and The New York Times Book Review. Roxane Gay was featured in the 2016 book, In the Company of Women, Inspiration and Advice from Over 100 Makers, Artists, and Entrepreneurs. Themes. Much of Gay's written work deals with the analysis and deconstruction of feminist and racial issues through the lens of her personal experiences with race, gender identity, and sexuality. Brought to you by Wikividi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?